Hello, everybody, and welcome into Nightfall League. It is my pleasure to introduce to you guys Anna, who will be here for the first time. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi. um, my name's Anna, obviously. I even have my own little name tag on that screensaver thing. Um, obviously, as you can tell from my voice, I'm a girl. Um, you like that's gotten me in so many casting jobs. You have no clue. People just hear I'm a girl and they're like, "Sign, you're signed up." But I'm actually a good caster too. I swear.
Nice. I do not have either of those. I'm not a girl, and I'm not a good caster. So
And it looks like I have to carry my weight around here.
I know you really will. You really will. But we do have a couple of the bans going out already. Jarvan taken off the table, Vayne and Azir. Brand new patch came out today, right? So what are
Yep.
you expecting to see from these teams?
Um, I honestly, it's such a new patch. It's hard to tell. They did a lot of champion-specific nerfs. So like Malzahar's ult got nerfed quite heavily. They changed the way support items work. So I don't expect to see AD carries take Relic Shield anymore. Um, that was a horrible meta. um,
Seriously.
but it's so new. It's hard to tell really. More bans coming out.
Yep, Sejuani, Ornn, although he did get nerfed pretty hard this patch,
Yes.
maybe people just, like you were saying, haven't adjusted to it yet. You don't really know what exactly is OP, so they're just playing it on the safe side, taking out Ornn, taking out Sejuani, so they really don't want those early ganking, a lot of damage tanks coming out. But Kog'Maw, Alistar locked in for the bottom lane here, and then Zac in the jungle.
And I'm really happy with the Kog'Maw Alistar pickup. That is so strong. You have the Alistar for protection, for peel, for the heals, for the sustain. Kog'Maw just dishing out that damage safe with his W range. But Xayah and Taric, that is a murder combination.
Yep. That is nasty to deal with. That has so much damage, and then of course Taric, with hard engage is phenomenal. Can actually bind up to the Zac and get these huge CC combos coming in with the Zac, knocking him up, knocking him together, then stunned with the dazzle. It's actually pretty ridiculous to play against, and Taric's so strong right now. But we do see Warwick locked in over here for the side of Precision.
And I find it really interesting that both teams have chosen to match their picks. They have chosen their bot lane and their jungler each. So I'm expecting to see a lot of top and mid. The solo lane, I'm expecting to see them a lot of bans on that. Because there's obviously no need to ban anyone else because they've already been picked up. And so it's really interesting to me because normally you get mismatched picks, but they've chosen to not reveal anything.
Yeah, the solo lanes. That's where I like to play. That's I saw the Azir banned early, and that made me a little bit sad because I'm hoping to see something with the Nunu. So Nunu got this extreme buff this patch, added a ratio to his auto attacks, a big ratio, and his blood boil now actually does gives AP as well to the attacker. So the obvious synergy would be with Azir, who relies on AP and attack speed. So we're not going to see that this game.
Banned out, yeah.
But I want to see it at some point. So I'm real excited. But there are other things. I mean, the Nunu could come across here. I mean, he won't because they're yeah, he won't. Now that I'm looking at everything, they definitely. Yeah. But I'm just real excited. Hopefully, I want to see it at some point tonight. But Maokai locked in the top lane, bringing in that engage, bringing in that reliable CC, and he's just been annoying to deal with. But Gangplank is the reply there in the top lane.
And now that's really interesting to me because if you let Gangplank scale, like he will just take over the late game. His barrels deal like hundreds upon thousands of damage. It's ridiculous. The slow is amazing. Like Gangplank in the late game is a terror. And Maokai isn't really the first person I think of when I think of someone to stop that Gangplank from scaling. I think of someone aggressive who deals damage, not this passive tank who just wants to farm, because that's all Gangplank wants to do as well. And he'll have a much greater impact with it.
Yeah, Gangplank has been scaling so well for a very long time. Kleptomancy has been nerfed this patch, so maybe it will affect how quickly he gets some of those items underneath his belt, but he should be A-okay. And we see that the Vigor is the last pick here in the mid lane. So a bunch of wave clear for Sushi on the Ziggs, a bunch of wave clear from the Gangplank, and a ton of AoE coming out in these team fights if they can get to the late game. But so much CC on the side of Precision that these mid game skirmishes might be rough for EVG coming in. Have about 30 seconds left for them to lock everything down. And then, of course, we got a 3-minute spectator delay that we will have to deal with. But just looking at these team compositions, who do you think has the edge and what are your predictions?
I think it's hard to tell because they drafted such different comps. Because on the blue side, you have this Gangplank. They obviously want to take it to late game because Ziggs, Saya, Gangplank, amazing damage in the late game. Zac, such a super tank. Like, and they really want to just scale. They want to farm. They want to be aggressive because they have an aggressive comp, but they also just want to scale. Red team, on the other hand, they have what looks like to be, to me at least, my silver opinion is that they have a mid game spike. They get an item, they get 2 items on the Kog'Maw, they get an item or two on Vhagar, and all of a sudden they're a lot more present. But then to get to their next spike takes a long time. So I'm looking to see them start team fighting in the mid game, whereas blue team really wants to just wait until late game. So it really depends on playstyles. I am going to give it to red team. I like the Vhagar and Kog'Maw combo. I think it's terrible. It's just terrible to play against,
Yep.
especially with that Alistair and Warwick and Maokai for the peel for the CC. So I'm giving it to red side.
I am going to have to agree with you here, but it really does rely on how Felines plays and Kiba as well. The Kog'Maw has so much protection available in the form of the Vigor Cage, the Warwick Ultimate, all the CC that Maokai brings to the table and Alistair brings to the table. They have so many tools that can allow this Kog'Maw really to just pop off. But if the Kog'Maw falls behind, if the Kog'Maw can't get farm, if the Kog'Maw mispositions, all of these variables are in there where felines may not be able to actually carry. And so if the Kog'Maw can't get ahead, if they stay too far down, can't get the damage out, then this awesome AoE team fight coming out from EVG may be able to overwhelm them. I mean, the Gangplank ult with the Ziggs ult in the late game might be enough damage to take out the Kog'Maw, no matter how much CC you have. Like, both of those ults are likely to hit. So I agree. I think Precision did draft the easier to execute comp here. Tons of CC is always the way to go, in my opinion, and they drafted it. They really did, and then they have the hyperscaling from the Vigor and the Kog'Maw if it goes into the late game as well. So I do think they have the advantage here, but my eye is going to be on Felines in the bottom lane, Felines and Cerulean down in the bottom lane to see if the Kog'Maw can get rolling and just see how long it takes them in this protected Kog'Maw composition.
We're getting some comments that my volume is a bit too low, and I just want to let you know that when your mic is on, it's sensitive enough to pick up your typing. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you may want to have a push to talk button and then just not type while your push to talk button is pushed, which
Okay.
is what I do.
All right. I will go to push to talk, and I have adjusted your microphone to be a little bit louder. I'm going to keep watching those levels. Hopefully, everybody in the chat keep letting us know where everything falls so that hopefully we can get it all taken care of. But I have adjusted her to be a little bit louder, and I will adjust myself to push to talk.
All right. Just keep in mind what button you use, because if you don't remember it, it's going to be awkward. It's like, oh, I've been talking for 5 minutes, but no one seems to be responding.
I've definitely done that before.
Yeah. Oh, so be careful that your push to talk button doesn't actually do something in spectator mode. I used to use C because it all it does in the actual game is it shows your auto attack range and pulls up your stat page on the bottom left. But in spectator mode, it toggles the scoreboard on and off. So
Nice.
I had to switch my push to talk button when I started casting. But I want to take this opportunity while we're in loading screen to look at keystones because they can be so influential. The first thing I noticed is that this Vhagar has unsealed spellbook, and what that does is it lets him change his summoner spells in the middle of the game. And so That is going to be so important. It's up to the other team to keep an eye on it. It does send a global notice in chat when that happens. So I really want them to, take notice of it and not fall for the tricks, because like you can pick up a teleport, use it, head back to base and pick up an ignite or a heal or something like that. It's such mind games.
Yeah, it really is.
Gangplank does have kleptomancy. Maybe he didn't hear about the nerfs. Maybe he doesn't care. Tarek has glacial augment.
Nice.
um,
They got buffed, so Glacial Augment did,
yes.
but I honestly would think that's probably a mistake unless new next level strategies. You never know. We'll see. We'll see how it works in game, but that is an interesting choice. I tried it on Mordekaiser and it didn't really work out for me, but that could just be me.
That's Mordekaiser, first of all. But second of all, Glacial Augment, that's an inspiration keystone, right?
Yes.
Well, it's possible he wanted inspiration primary, but just none of the other, because he can't take Unsealed Spellbook. That's just horrible. The other one is Kleptomancy, which doesn't make sense for Tarek. So maybe he was just left with Glacial Augment as the best out of 3 bad options.
Yeah.
It then begs the question why he was taking inspiration as a primary tree and not secondary if there was stuff he wanted in it terribly. I personally would have went Resolve first, inspiration secondary if he really wanted some of that stuff, but we'll see if it works out for him.
Yeah, the mix up to the keystones with this new patch is probably got some people tripped up. In the LCS, we were seeing a ton of unsealed spellbook. So I mean, on supports, on mid laners, on everybody. So maybe he wanted to go that route. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he knows something OP that we don't know just yet. We'll see as we are actually loading onto the Rift. Do you know if there's still that spectator bug where
people hop up and down?
Yeah, well that, and also if the client falls behind, like if you have to spam the plus button to like stay in line.
That's not really a bug. That just happens naturally because your computer just you don't notice it when you're in game, but it just naturally like slows down during some cases and speeds up during others. That's like what your computer does. So if you just notice it more in spectator mode because there is like a time. Don't bother pushing the plus, and we'll be exactly aligned. So
cool, sounds good.
Like just don't do replays. We don't like if you don't do replays, you will never have a problem with what time someone is on.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right.
We'll do that.
There are 5 stopwatches in this game. We got one on the Kog'Maw, one on Vigar, and we got one on Xayah, one on Ziggs, and one on Gangplank. So those can really make or break a dive, regardless of which way which team is diving. So if someone dives you, you stopwatch, they're stuck under tower. If you dive someone, stopwatch instantly cuts off aggro to you, and obviously makes you invulnerable. So if you're about to die, but the other person's about to die, you stopwatch, tower stops targeting you, and you can come back and kill them. It's such a mind games.
Yeah, stopwatch is really cool. People have been complaining about it though recently, because there's been such a prevalence of it in the LCS. I mean, we're seeing 6, 7 stopwatches. We're seeing 5 here in this game, but it is outplay potential and it's free gold. So what I like to see is the people using it as the outplay potential. There is a few ways that, Ziggs can stopwatch the Vigar ultimate. That can really change a fight. So we'll be looking to see how that really plays out. Nothing too aggressive, though, at level 1. Looks like everybody's just going to be farming out, both junglers, starting off on the bottom side of the map.
Which obviously means that they will end up on the top side once they finish their clears. It seems that Zach went from his red straight to Wolves. Warwick doing his Wolves before heading over to the other side. Are they going to gank top lane or just recall and go somewhere else? Because I'm not sure top lane is really a gankable lane. Maybe because GP is obviously going to poke out. I mean, I was gonna say he's obviously gonna push, but it looks like Maokai is kind of just like body blocking him here. So maybe it is a good place to gank. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Maokai does bring a ton of the gank assist there to the table. If Gangplank's going to play really aggressively, then he can get there before he takes the orange. But honestly, Gangplank is pretty safe right now. I wouldn't be too afraid of them at this point in the game. I think they're going to be farming up. Zach is going to be looking for the early game ganks because his are a lot more potent than the Warwick. But Warwick is going to power farm up until level 6. That would be my prediction. And then I think he's going to try to influence the bottom lane. But I could be wrong as we see him coming top.
Right now, Zach is chasing after him. There might be a counter gank, but Gangplank looks like he's going to die for first blood to the Warwick. And Zach has to run quickly now before they turn on him.
Yeah, that was well played, right as I talked about it. You know, it's the caster curse. But Warwick got to the Scuttle Crab in time, is able to get priority in the river, and then Gangplank just overextended a little bit too much. Gank assist from the Maokai, and they had enough damage to take him down for first blood. So it's looking good for the red team already.
Yeah, he TP's back into lane, so he won't lose any farm, and Maokai's actually recalling, so with this wave that's crashing into him right now, he will actually have more CS than the Maokai, but that first blood is a lot of gold, and the fact that it went onto Warwick is no hindrance whatsoever, because that will just let him influence other lanes. It will spread the power of that first blood to the other lanes, which is exactly what they want. Zach goes in for a gank on mid lane, but
yeah, he's there.
Vygar's E stopped to Ziggs from getting there. Barrier used. Oh, he almost dies. Teleport goes in. Warwick's here trying to get the Zach, press the attack pop, but he can't reach him in time. Now onto Ziggs, but
wow, that was
he
a
almost
lot
dies.
of damage.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, Warwick getting real aggressive there. Nice play down in the bottom lane. So much aggression. Kog'Maw trying to trade back, and they're doing a ton of damage onto the Alistar. Nice work there by Josh Sand and the Xayah down there, almost killing Cerulean. He's going to need to chug some pots and get himself healthy for another fight. But extended trade down in the bottom lane. Win for the Team Precision here, and looks like they're just going to push him underneath the turret.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, because, you know, blue team, I'm sorry, I don't know their names yet. Blue team definitely really wants to be aggressive, even though they are a scaling team. They want to be aggressive because they want to keep their enemy down while they scale to buy them time. So this aggression is serving them so well right now. And the Kog'Maw, he's so weak early on. He can't respond to this at all.
Yeah, he really can't, but he's going to scale up. He's still got 31 CS. Xayah only a small lead at this point, so he's going to be just A-okay, not dying, farming up, staying safe underneath the turret with the help of the Alistar, and getting into the mid and lane game. Maka getting aggressive up top, though. Look at that. Just establishing a little bit of dominance up there.
Warwick coming for a gank, looks like, but Zach is already here for an in-lane gank. They go in on the Alistar, but he is the tankiest of the three. Exhaust goes down onto Kog'Maw, but Warwick was on the Xayah, so not much got done. Warwick now getting really low, Q to heal up, but heal used by Xayah.
Nice flash.
Flashes forward, gets the Warwick. Nice Taric stun onto both of them.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
Amazing.
Beautiful play from the bottom lane. And he does go down in the end, but yeah, Taric with the double stun. Zach was there and waiting with the counter gank. They were prepared for this gank on the bottom side of the map. Xayah with the aggressive flash forward gives them the double kill in the bottom lane, and that was so well played. Both the kills going onto the Xayah as well. That's the one you want the gold on. And so
the third one went to Taric, so it's still going to benefit the bottom lane.
Yep. Yeah, just very well played all around. Like you said, the double stun towards the back end of the fight really turned it for him. And that's going to give him a 1K gold lead already, only 6 minutes in. But that extra kill and a little bit of CS is giving him that snowball.
I wish we could do replays, because I really do want to check out whether it was 6 minutes already when that fight started or not, because Kog'Maw does have a stopwatch. If it was 6 minutes, why didn't he use it? Did he think it was a waste, or did he accept his fate, or did he honestly not think of it? Was it not commenced? I don't know, but he does have it now for future fights. But being so far behind, you have to think. JP and Maokai exchanging some damage up in the top lane.
Yeah, it's a lot more action up in the top lane than I thought, but it's because the Veigar is actually trying to wrap around. Maokai ultimate goes down, there's the cage, boom, and takes him out. Kiba takes out Gangplank up in the top lane. Well done. Gangplank was not expecting that, didn't even have time for the oranges. Wouldn't have saved him. That is a lot of damage coming out from the mid laner.
Maybe a bit of miscommunication where his mid laner did not tell him the Veigar was missing, because Veigar was sitting up there for quite some time. Yep. You have to think he's ganking somewhere, and he wasn't seen down bot, so I mean...
Yeah,
Why
Ziggs
not
actually
play back?
went down bot himself, so they were looking maybe maybe they communicated, hey, Vigor's heading up top, but Gangplank thought he was still safe as Ziggs came
What?
down. Whoa, look at that stopwatch though. He's coming in. Zaya puts already taken out by the Gangplank ultimate. Cerulean is the next one to be taken down.
Oh
and
my
Zach
lord.
picks up that
That's
kill.
just gotta be such a feel bad moment for the Kog'Maw. He's like, oh, they're gonna go in. I'm gonna stopwatch it, and it's gonna be an amazing play. But they see his stopwatch and they just stop moving.
Well, I think he must have heard you. Oh, Warwick ult actually in the mid lane uses the cleanse to Gao, almost dies. The ulti return, NF fall almost falls to the Ziggs bomb, but Gangplank flashes in as Kippa tries to. Yeah, he tried his best to flash in, and Warwick runs away. Aggressive use of the summoner spells there from the Ziggs, but he now has none of them. And will be susceptible to another gank. That Warwick ult is actually really difficult to land, so I'm surprised they were able to chain that CC so well. But we do see him turn on to the first dragon of the game. We'll be going over to EVG, secured by Zach.
I just want to call that a fiesta. What a fiesta that happened there in that mid lane, and you can't help thinking, if Warwick wasn't so aggressive, okay, you land the ult. Don't chase under tower. Keep your health, because then they would have gotten the dragon. Warwick is an excellent dragon taker.
Yep.
You know, you could have taken it instead of the Zac so easily. And I mean, it is only an Ocean, but an Ocean is so influential while they're still in laning phase. It buffs up, it gives you your health and mana regen so well in lane, especially, like I said. So the fact that they're still in laning phase and they got an Ocean Drake is so helpful. And I don't like the judgment of Warwick on that gank.
Yeah, sometimes I mean, these are 5v5 leagues, so these are players who are in voice comms, who have probably played with each other before. These are friends, and you expect a higher level of macro game, but it still kind of can have a solo queue feel. Warwick got hungry for the blood, didn't really think about the macro objectives that were on the table at the time, and like you said, he goes in for the kill underneath the turret. They aren't able to secure it, and then they lose the Drake for it. So that's just sometimes the thing that happens. It especially happens in my solo queue games. And we see Warwick actually went in another time in the mid, but up in the top lane, Zach, he is unstoppably brings the Maokai back in. Look at that, these stopwatches, I don't even know what they're trying to do right now.
They just can't kill him.
They can't. Maokai is just absolutely ridiculous. That goes into blob form, and they're just going to be able to slap away at his poor little blob forms, and he goes down again.
On earth was that gank execution?
And once again, the gank execution a little lacks interesting flash, but they do pick one up. In the top lane, Ziggs ult comes through. Not enough damage yet, and Warwick once again walks out with just a sliver of health.
Well, we'll see if he does.
Yep, flash lands for Josh Sand, and Sushi comes in to pick up one with the auto attack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Fiesta was right.
This is like solo queue. What on earth is going on?
Fiesta was exactly right. What a great description. You called it.
So Gangplank and Zach try to make a gank on Maokai, but they have no damage because Maokai correctly identifies the Gangplank as doing all the damage and just takes him out.
Yep.
Where is this damage on the Maokai coming from? So Zach is just left like basic attacking the Maokai. Meanwhile, Warwick has all the time he needs to run up there with his blunt scent activated and just they kill the Zach. Warwick still has his full health and all of his abilities, so he just goes under tower. I'm a little bit pissed about that execution, and that Gangplank stopwatch especially. And then, like, I just have a lot of problems. I can see what Red Team is going for. I can see what they're trying to do, and I can see what Blue Team's trying to do. Red Team's the one actually winning. But I can see what both teams are trying to do. I want them to tighten up their execution. That's all.
Yeah, tough use of the stopwatches so far, but you're wondering where that damage from the Maokai is coming from. And although I do think Maokai is a ridiculous champion right now, I really do think he's overtuned. He's ahead 50 CS at 12 minutes above this Gangplank. And so you just wouldn't expect the reliable, kind of OP tank to really take that much from a Gangplank who's under-leveled at this point, 2 levels behind, and almost over 50 CS behind. It looks like they're trying to get a pick here onto the Warwick, though. Zach stretching strike, but he can't be disabled. Gangplank ultimate is here. Maokai is on the back line, but it's a 4v1 so far. Everybody is turned and fighting him. They keep the chase onto the tree, and it is Christmas, but not for him as he dies.
Why wasn't that teleport canceled? Your Warwick ulted out defensively. He's gone. They're not gonna chase him. Why not cancel the teleport? It goes on a shorter cooldown. Oh my lord.
Yeah, Flash, he does land the stretching strike, doesn't have anything to auto attack to. Dazzle not coming through for him, so a little bit fail of an engage.
Can I just cry slightly?
Yeah, you can. I'm thinking about it as well.
They have all the engage tools they need. Why are they trying? What are they doing? I'm sorry.
I am not sure, but the disengage from the baby cage coming out from Vigor, I mean, it is there. They are going for Rift Herald, but there will be some contest here from Precision. Vigor, not enough damage with the ultimate, but does force him off the Herald.
For Tarek.
He does. I mean, me and him both, though. That's a handsome man just trotting around with his long blonde hair.
Red team has the inside track on this mid tower because they stopped to do wolves on the way apparently, and they are probably going to get it, although nice wave clear from the Ziggs actually stopping that push. Yep. Vagar stun.
That's going in.
What?
He picks up 3, brings him back out. Look at that, and there is just not enough damage yet. Exhaust goes on to Kog'Maw, and there is the ultimate from Sushi. Picks one up in return. Another kill over for the Ziggs, but the CC is here now, and they're able to pick up the return kill back onto Ziggs. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Xayah just free pushing that tower.
I don't even know where to start. Okay, first of all, Zach going in doesn't hit anyone with the initial knockup, which, I mean, that's fine. You can dodge that. He then ults the 2 tankiest members into the team, leaving the backline free to free fire. And just... Alistar just pops his ult. He takes no damage whatsoever. Warwick pops his E. He takes reduced damage. And then meanwhile, Kog'Maw is just getting press the attack activated on everybody, and like, I have issues, okay? And Xayah, why was she not with her team? If she had been there in the mid, like in that mid lane, things would have been so different. Yeah, she got the tower, but it wasn't even first tower gold. Like they had already gotten that. Like it wasn't necessary, and they could have so easily won that fight, gotten mid lane turret, and then rotated top. Like it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, interesting choices from them. Xayah 2-0 and 4 though, and she was able to pick up a really big wave and crash it into the turret. So although I agree that maybe she could have been in with the team, they did get a lot of gold on the map from that. They're still up 1.3k at this point with only that 1 kill ahead. But Tarek really needs to be in. Oh wow, the Cosmic Radiance doesn't even come through just yet. He dies before it even goes through. That was close though, almost stolen away. Red team secures the Rift Herald. And
they did trade it for an Ocean Drake down there, so now blue team does have 2 Oceans, which is actually a really good place to be. Warwick drops Rift Herald up in the top lane. They will get that tower, and we'll see if they can save their own mid tower.
It's a big wave up top with them too, so they need to do something about the top side, but there's an engage here in the mid lane. First kill already onto the Vigor for the Xayah. Yeah, she's doing so much damage, and they are going to back off.
That was so much better played. Veigar misses the E stun. He puts it around himself properly, but they were already inside the E radius when he put it down, so they just didn't have to touch the walls and they weren't stunned. And that was, and like you said, the Xayah was there and did the damage. Almost died, but managed to get the kill in the end. So that's what I wanted to see in that first mid fight. She finally shows up in the second one. Definitely a win for them.
There's so much gold on the carries right now, mid and the Ziggs and the Xayah here for EVG. It's a 4-1 Ziggs, a 3-0-4 Xayah. Xayah 150 CS right now, beating Cog. And we talked about how we thought the reliable engage from the red team would come through and kind of push them through the mid game. But right now, they're just getting out executed, and it's not the team comp's fault. It's just, they mispress the hourglass and Kog'Maw gets dove. They don't rotate fast enough. They give over a double kill, and these small things are giving the lead over for EVG, and that's why you see a 2K lead at this point.
Yeah, I definitely have some issues with the macro play of red team. Their individual performances, I mean, obviously there are some mistakes which have resulted in kills being handed over to blue team, but just individually that's pretty well done. And so it all just comes into what do they deem important, what are they playing for, and they don't seem to have a clear goal in mind. Is it objectives, is it kills, and it's a mix of both right now, and they're losing out on both fronts because of it. They can't decide what it is they want to focus on.
I think maybe they're just trying to survive and wait it out. We do have so much scaling on the side of the Kog'Maw and the Veigar that maybe they think that they'll outscale the Gangplank and the Ziggs. What I'm really hoping for, no matter what, is that we don't see one of those 90-minute games like SKT played the longest game in history, right? And then well, there's an engage from Zach though, and they're getting it going.
That's a lot. That's what I was looking for.
Cosmic Radiance onto 4. Nice engage. Nets him 1 kill already onto the Kog'Maw. Alistar very tanky, but does go down to the Xayah, and they should be able to push down this mid turret as well.
Okay, I take back what I said about blue team early on about their horrible execution. They just proved themselves there for me.
Ooh, nice stun onto Kiba, and Kiba does return a kill. The exhaust is on, and he does end up going down eventually. Maokai is in a 3v1, and they are slapping away, but Warwick has joined the fight now, and they are turning their tails and trying to run. A nice ultimate locks him up for a second. Sushi has gone down. Zach followed him in passive form, but will go down eventually as well. A double kill over to the Warwick.
And you have to question why Zach went in once Warwick had already ulted the Ziggs. Probably should have just gave him up for dead and moved on. But in any case, some very nice executed tower dive on the side of blue team. They stayed a bit long, did get the tower in the end, but red team came back and kind of killed them all for it.
That's early in the game.
Gangplank was pushing bot lane, so I mean, it's still probably worth in the end for blue team. They are a kill ahead, they are 2 towers ahead, and they do have a gold lead, so definitely worth for them. But just they just need to tighten up a bit. That's all. Both of these teams really just need to tighten up. This is the first match of the season, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm not sure if they played any before, but this is definitely the first stream match. We do see Alistar getting aggressive onto Gangplank, but he does get out of there. You're mentioning that they need to kind of tighten everything up, and I think their ideas have been good. And then they get this execution right. They get the engage, they get the tower down, but then just poor lapse of judgment there. As they stay too long and get turned upon. They are on Baron.
Is blue team really doing this, Baron?
They are, and Gangplank has come in to try to help. He walks back in and takes a ton of damage from the Veigar. Uses the ultimate, but that is just not enough, and it is enough for the red team to stop the Baron, but Warwick turns in. He wants a little bit of taste of Nash. And
okay, I have questions all over again. What was that TP? Upon finishing the TP, you avoid the Veigar stun. Good on you. Then Veigar uses his ability and you walk back into it?
I don't know, but Zach is trying to engage here. Tower is hitting him. Alistar really needs to be careful. Kiba takes the first kill of the fight. Hasn't even used his ultimate yet. And they need to be careful. They're sieging down this turret. Ziggs uses the ultimate for the wave clear, and Maokai zones them off on the back side. A nice macro play there. That actually nets them their first gold lead of the game.
And I mean, it's great on red team. They're they, like I said, they get an item and they get an item and a half on their carries, and all of a sudden they're hitting a power spike. So props on them. But what was that Zac play? He brought the Alistair to tank the turrets.
Ooh, double kill. That's already two. Let's see how many more she can get. Xayah is so fed. Zac comes through. Nice smite for the steal. Kog'Maw picks up the return kill, but Xayah is here. Gangplank's doing the damage as well. Pick up Warwick.
3 for 1 with the dragon going over to blue team. Such an advantage for them. I feel like every time I compliment them, they do badly, and every time they do badly and I call them out on it, they do really well in the next second. So
that's exactly right. No, you're not wrong about that. You're like, they need to do this better, and then they do, and then you're like, oh, they did that great, and then they do something else horrible. And it's just been a tit for tat the entire time where they do something great and then they give it back up, and it could be maybe this is the first time they've ever been streamed. Maybe they have some a little bit of stage fright. They have some jitters.
Maybe.
But we'll see, as it looks like they are getting an engage on the top side of the map.
Oh, nice Alistair engage into the Veigar stun, but Xayah ults out of it, and Gangplank just destroys Veigar. Now Xayah is just free to wail on Alistair.
Ouch.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad.
Ooh, Warwick lands the ult. Alistair goes in again. She goes down to the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw tries to flash out of Zig's ult, but fails. Cosmic Radiance goes down, but it wears off, and Zac finally comes in. I don't know where he was before, but comes in now. Probably will not do anything.
Be a quad. Ooh, not quite a quadra kill for the Kog'Maw, but yeah, like you said, Zac just waiting off. I think he was waiting on his elastic slingshot cooldown. That being said, pretty much full health. Goes into the backline by himself into the Alistair, Maokai, and Kog'Maw. And Kog'Maw does a good job kiting him out and doing a ton of damage. That's what Kog'Maw's good at. But Zig,
this is not what you guys want to be doing.
He puts down the damage, and Sushi is doing a great job. He just pulled him off of Baron single-handedly.
Which is not surprising. What's surprising to me is why they started it in the first place. Their only tank was Maokai because Alistair was already half health. Kog'Maw only has one. He only has a Vamp Scepter. He has like no lifesteal to speak of. And there was a Ziggs there. So I just have some questions about that call. But they did win.
They're trying, you know,
pretty handedly.
It's like they have this idea. They're like, macro, what should we do, and they're like, Baron's up, and so they run over there, and then they realize it's 24 minutes in. They're pretty low. Ziggs is still up throwing AoE. They're all bunched up tightly, and then they're like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea. They back up. So
maybe not. It has been a 1-kill lead for either team, just on and off, switching back and forth. Right now it is 19-18 in favor of red team. The gold is in favor of red team, but only barely. Towers are equal, and 3 drags over to blue team, which will definitely come in handy later on.
Yeah, right now I have to give it to the blue team. I mean, it's pretty much even in gold though, and with how these fights have just been so sporadic. Like one fight Zac gets in, you know, all onto the Veigar, he gets onto the carries, and then the next fight he doesn't, but this may be one of those. Warwick already really close, uses the ult defensively, teleport coming in from the Maokai, does not cancel, he comes in, and he's looking at trying to engage onto 5 full health members, but Ziggs does a good job staving that away. So the interesting engage from Zac, just kind of staved off, and Kiba comes in. Alistair re-engages, and once again he dives back onto the back line. Cosmic Radiance is available, and he's invulnerable for a second. Kog'Maw almost dead, and Featherstorm just can't pick him up. Not enough range. Very, very close. But Alistair and Veigar both went down in the fight. It's a 4v3. Zac continues the engage onto 2. So many questions. And we'll see if we'll get the answers to him as these tanks have to back out away. Nice dazzles from the Taric, but my gosh, what is going on?
I just have so many questions. This should be red team's power spike. I said they need 2 items on their carries, and then that's when they want to fight. But they let themselves get behind because they fell into the aggressive trap of blue team. Blue team was like, oh, aggression. We're good at that. Let's do it. And red team was like, oh, aggression? Well, obviously we have to match it. No. No, you don't have to match it. They should have just played passively. They should have stayed in their towers. They should have farmed up. They shouldn't have made as many of the bad calls as they did, and they would be doing so much better at this point. The kills are even. The gold is in the favor of blue team. 3 dragons in the favor of blue team. They just picked up another turret as well.
And the turret's really what's giving him the edge here. Just that one extra one, giving him about 1,000 gold lead. Nice cage from the Vigor. Blue team.
To catch himself, I
Yes,
guess.
he did. And, you know, like, sometimes you just got to do it. It's like a hug, right? A self-hug. Sometimes you just need them. Dragon's coming up, so 40 seconds. They wanted to go aggressive onto that mid lane turret, but it looks like EVG is actually going to, or sorry, Precision is actually going to try to threaten a Baron. Blue team on their way here. EVG will be looking to get in engaged as they've already started Baron up. Warwick tanking right now. Tarek is in position as Xayah is putting down some of the damage on the Maokai. They pulled back for now. And they have stopped
Yeah, they
Baron.
just don't have the health. Imagine if they had those 2 Ocean Drakes instead of blue team. They would be in a much better position to be taking this Baron right now, but they just don't have the health to pull it off with the Ziggs poke and the threat of Tarek. And obviously Gangplank with his humongously annoying barrels, because look, he has 5-6, he has a Triforce, he has a Yomu's, and another agility cloak on top of that. He is hurting.
Yep. And he'll continue to hurt like so much more as the game continues. So this is a mark of how far ahead Ziggs is than everyone else. He is 6'2". He has a Leontres and a Mora Melicon. He has a Quicksilver Sash. Yep.
That builds into no AP item. He has that because he is so far ahead, he can afford to give up an item slot for a CC remover.
Yep, and Maokai
pops Righteous Glory.
He's in, and he used the ultimate rooted up, but that's okay because nice timing from the Cosmic Radiance. They're kiting back. Winter has not been touched yet this fight. Felines kites out of the Ziggs ultimate as Zac has gone into block form. Kibba picks up one onto the Xayah. Now they don't have a carry. Kog'Maw needs to press forward. Josh Sand is in the back line, and Kog'Maw picks up the double kill. Gangplank does his best to kite out of this one, but the Xayah going down early means that is a lost fight for EVG.
Okay, this is what red team needs to do all the time. They had the perfect engage. Maokai goes in, he pops the Righteous Glory, gets the movement speed. It doesn't really matter who he twisted advances on, because the entire purpose of his twisted advance was to pull out the Cosmic Radiance and give the rest of his team time to position properly. Because the moment that Cosmic Radiance dropped off, the entire red team turned onto that Xayah, and she was dead.
Immediately, Vigor did a nice patience displayed by the mid laner there, Kibba.
Exactly.
But the Baron, once again, is the objective on the table. About 1/3 health left. Let's see if they can get the engage. Alistair goes onto the Ziggs. Ziggs in a really bad spot. But Novice is onto Felines, but he doesn't want to be there. Double kill again for the Kog'Maw, and they secure the Baron. But Zac comes in and shuts him down. It's just the tanks left. They really don't have much damage in this 3v3. It's so much damage coming on to Josh Sand, but he heals it back up. Kibba picks him up finally, and the cage is here. Zac is locked up. Featherstorm comes out from the Xayah. Stuns 3 is doing her best to kite out, and she's doing so much damage. But Warwick is there and finally takes down the Xayah. They have 4 strong, and they may be able to push down this inhibitor, maybe even go for the Nexus.
Oh, they definitely won't be able to end. Death timers are not long enough for that. Ziggs will be up in 5 seconds. I want them to take this tower, take this inhibitor, and back off.
Yeah, but we'll see. They've been real aggressive this game with the overstage. Ziggs uses the ultimate to clear off the minion wave, and that is plenty to get them out of there. So they do pick up an inhibitor for themselves 30 minutes into the game, and they should be looking at this Drake too. I'm not sure if they're healthy enough to go for it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are. I mean, Warwick definitely is healthy enough, and I guess Vigar just took red buff for no reason. Takes it, so
takes it away.
Fair enough, fair enough.
It looks like they're going to give over the Drake, so I mean, really not a bad trade overall if this does end up going down to EVG. Inhibitor for Drake, I'll take any day.
Yes, but keep in mind that I predicted Blue Team would be a scaling team from the very beginning. This will be their 4th Drake, and a 4 Drake Infernal Dragon, a 4 Drake Elder Dragon is very scary.
Yeah, and even just the 3 Ocean Drakes with a poke composition, right? So much damage from long range coming out from the Ziggs and from the Gangplank.
And their mana will be regenerating the entire time.
And their health. So if they can siege, oh, I mean, Ziggs, the best sieging champion in the game.
Yep.
It's like they have a perfect storm. They should be able to come back. I know they're down 4K gold, so it's a little bit risky if they get engaged upon, but they do have tools to be able to climb back into this game.
What I want them to do is I want them to wait out this Baron. It's almost over. I want them to wait out the Baron, play safe until then just engage. They have the power. They've been scaling up. They have items. I want them to have a very favorable engage. Take out the Vigar because he has the burst damage to take out your Xayah. So take out the Vigar, then focus the Kog'Maw. Then you can deal with all the other tanks. Like I want to see the focus. There we go. I want to see their focus.
Yeah, the only issue with that there is, like, Kog'Maw is really far ahead, but we do see Zac, and he's onto the backline. He's picked up the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is here. He's doing damage, but he's in way of the turret. Has he gone down just yet? Felines actually picks up Zac before he goes down. Ziggs gets the return. Gangplank puts one onto Warwick. Maokai able to secure one for himself. Such a scattered fight right now, but Xayah is still alive and there is no Kog'Maw. The DPS is here for EVG as they continue to try to burn down this super tank of the Maokai. The peel is there. Taric is stunned up. Josh Sand goes for the dazzle but misses it. It is a 3v2, but they have minions swarming into the base and the bottom side of the map.
Still, that's exactly what I wanted to see from them, to be honest. The Zac picks up the Kog'Maw, takes him under tower. Tower, unfortunately, didn't target him, but it was basically only Warwick that went for the Xayah, so they killed him. Xayah was free. Meanwhile, Ziggs picked up the Kog'Maw, even as he picked up Zac. So I mean, like, it was just really their focus. That's exactly what I was talking about. They focused the Kog'Maw because Vhagar automatically stopwatched the moment Zac went in. So I mean, I don't blame them for switching focus. So, and that's what won them the fight. They now have more room to work with, because before they were being, pressed on all sides. Now they bought themselves some breathing room.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good engage from the Zac, being able to pull back in the Kog'Maw, because Kog'Maw stuck between a rock and a hard place at that point. The only unfortunate thing is that Xayah couldn't get around to help the Ziggs and finish off the Kog'Maw earlier, because if they could have, definitely would have been able to run through that fight without even losing the Zac. That being said, siege is going on the bottom side of the map here for Precision. Looks like he's got the cage on him. This could be a good pick. Maokai goes for the engage. Cosmic Radiance is coming out. It's going to hit all of them, and they are all invulnerable for now. Another stun cage is here. Felines picked up his first kill of the fight. Kog'Maw keeps pressing forward, but he goes down, and Ziggs is the one to pick up that kill. Vhagar has picked up a double kill for himself. He has the damage. He's got a triple kill. Ziggs picks him up, though, on the back side, and there's so many low health bars here that Ziggs is the sole member trying to defend, but unfortunately has some minions to deal with there in his base.
I have questions again. I have questions. You're fighting a Vhagar. Why are you standing grouped up together in a jungle tunnel? He can just put his cage inside the tunnel and you cannot avoid it, because guess what? It's a tunnel.
Yep, nothing he can do. Just like the Alistar, they're going down to the Ziggs.
I don't understand, that's all.
Yep, and sometimes you just can't understand it. At least they pick up some objectives on the bottom side of the map. Warwick using the damage reduction to try to get out of here. Ziggs just keeps throwing those Steph Curry range 3-pointers at him. Doesn't get enough, but we do see a 5,000 gold lead coming out from Precision and the Kog'Maw 14, 6, and 7. He's died in both of these last two fights, but he's still been putting out a ton of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming hard for Blue Team. to pick who they want to kill first, because they're killing the Kog'Maw, that's true, but then Veigar just kills them all. They can kill the Veigar, but then Kog'Maw's left alive, and there's just so much peel that even if you get one target, there's no way you're gonna get the second. And I mean, it leaves blue team just really at a loss. So I think what they need to do is they need to scale. They really want to scale because the Ziggs and GP, they need more items. GP is only on 3 items, I believe. I don't think that's a Sterix Gage. I think that's just a Joden's at the moment.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah, so he's on 3.5 items. Ziggs has 4 items, but he still has that Quicksilver Sash. You know, so he needs. They need to just wait. They need Xayah to get more items. Like, they don't have what it takes, I think, right now to deal with red team.
Yeah, the problem with that is that they're continually going, like, Veigar is going to continue getting stacks, and Kog'Maw is just going to be as scary as he can. But actually, he's at full build, so he's going to be as scary as he'll ever get right now. So you're right. I mean, if I guess if the game goes late enough that it's 5 items on everybody, they probably do have a little bit better of a chance than they do right now.
Well, because the thing is, once everybody gets full builds, it becomes an easy choice. You're going to kill the Veigar because he's the one who keeps stacking. You're going to kill the Veigar. Right now, they have to choose between 2 targets, and then the other target kills them. So if they just wait long enough, they only have the 1 target because Kog'Maw won't be able to do anything to them.
I think they have to use their range to their advantage. The Ziggs ultimate coupled with the Gangplank ultimate, all they need is one person to lock the Kog'Maw in place for a second, so that way he takes the damage, and that's the Zac. So if he can get the engage, if he can get the heroes engage onto the Kog'Maw, they can win a fight with the Ziggs ultimate and the Gangplank ultimate alone.
Or they just need to siege more, because if they don't let Maokai flank them, Ziggs and Xayah and Gangplank can just poke out people.
Baron's not a bad call here. They're pinging towards it. Red team knows, but at 40 minutes in the game, they're definitely healthy enough to take it. And they do have a Mountain Drake too, so it might go down pretty fast. They have so much damage. They started up for a second, but decide they want to peel off of it. Gangplank showing off his barrel combos, but not really doing much. They do see a wave on the top side of the map. It's just the Baron dance, the 40-minute Dignitas Baron dance. Red team does pick up a turret from their minions on the bottom side of the map. They keep burning down the Baron. He's at about half health. Warwick gets the engage onto the Xayah. Featherstorm comes out. He is rooted, but this is early. Cosmic Radiance on all 5 members again. And that was an interesting look. It looked like the roots almost stopped there for a second, but everything is just disengaged. Nice ultimate from the turret keeps everybody healthy. And look at that. They're going for the Baron again. They see this huge wave on the bottom side of the map, and they're like, look, somebody's got to go deal with that. And Maokai has gone. He has teleport available. Baron goes down to Tarek. Nice secure from the support. Kog'Maw's over the wall, though. Kiba goes down to Ziggs on the backside of the map, and the teleport is finally here. Zac blobs himself out with Alistair, uses the stretching strike to get out, and now it's just run away. The blue team just has to get out of there. They took the Baron, they secured the objective, they got a tower on the bottom side of the map, and here you go. I mean, they're gonna siege now.
The only problem is that because Zac and GP and Tarek all got very low during that fight, they couldn't peel for the Xayah. So when there was a teleport in, she was the first to fall.
Yep.
So she's the only one on their team who does not have Baron. Arguably is the person you want Baron on the most, but they are now fighting over Elder Drake. Ziggs is Zac is here, but they peel off. They decide not to.
I don't want to give it up. Smite was available for the Warwick as it is for Zac, but I guess they just don't want to pull it over to a 50-50. Yep, Xayah is on her way to the fight. TP's coming in for the Veigar. It's about half health so far. Precision coming in, but EVG has already backed off of it. This is the same thing as the Baron. You have the Baron buff. I don't know why they're fighting over this Drake right now. They could just be pushing, but it's almost down. Misses the smite. Kog'Maw picks up the dragon, and here comes the rest. It's a big 5v5. Warwick ult onto the backline. Winner doing his best to peel off, and they do it successfully. Huge health bars coming out from EVG, and they have the Baron buff, so they can just continue to press forward. Alistar headbutts him backwards. Locked up by Vigor, puts him into blob form. Exhaust goes down. The nice blast cone, but Kiba picks up his second kill of the fight. And here's the re-engage. It may have been enough. Kog'Maw is here. He's barking, and he really wants these kills. Felines picks up his first of the fight, but second in that little window, and it looks like Elder Drake is greater than Baron confirmed. Oh, wow. Backside.
I wouldn't say it's so much that Elder Drake is better than Baron confirmed. It's more just that Baron isn't about fighting power, it's about sieging power, whereas Elder Drake is all about fighting.
Yep.
So, I mean, plus Red Team, they're just arguably stronger than Blue Team in pretty much every way right now.
Yep. I agree.
And that re-engage was pretty much textbook perfect.
Yeah. Good job by the Vigor, actually just delaying for so long, using the Zhonga. Like, he picked up the kill, puts out the cage, Zhongas, they can't touch him, and then here it comes back in with the Righteous Glory. Maokai shows up, Warwick shows up, everybody comes running in and pick up these kills, but this game is so late that the gold lead is practically, you can just brush it off. It really doesn't matter, and it's all going to come down to one fight here at the end of the game. I'm excited to see it. They've been pretty explosive 5v5s. I'm not going to say clean, but they've been explosive.
Yeah, that's definitely one word for them. But the thing is, if it does come to a team fight, which it does seem to be going to, I have to give it to Red Team because their last few team fights have been executed like near perfection. If they don't get it on the first engage, they get it on the re-engage, and they have a lot of pushing power in and of themselves. They don't have a Ziggs, of course, but they have a lot of turret pushers of their own. So, you know, if they do win a fight, it's so easy for them to push to the win, you know, and the way these fights have been going, I definitely see them taking the fight.
Just so hard for them to cut through, for EVG to cut through these huge tanks. I mean, the Warwick is so tanky. The Maokai's been tanky for 20 minutes. The Alistar getting up there in items too. They're just so hard to kill. And if with the Guardian Angel from the Kog'Maw coming out, like there just aren't many options anymore for EVG, and we'll see what happens, but it does look like Precision is backing off. Big wave on the top side of the map that they need to deal with, so smart call here by them, actually backing up, stopping the siege, and protecting their base. Trying to protect their base. Ziggs uses his ultimate, actually stops the back. Very well played here by EVG. Now that wave's going to crash in and get decent damage onto that turret.
Definitely another wave coming up right behind it. So, yep. I mean, that turret is taking a lot of damage. They do have an exposed inhibitor. So, I mean, it's almost like sort of equal pressure. It's pressure on the top lane in exchange for pressure on mid lane, which is why you always see Ziggs in the mid lane, because he needs to be there to clear out those minions and stop Red Team from just pushing on that open inhibitor. They do manage to save that top tower, though. So, you know, nothing gained much. I mean, it is now about half health, judging from the mini-map there.
Yep.
But Blue Team hasn't been sieging, so it doesn't quite matter.
It really doesn't. This, you know, it's just, this really does feel solo queue to me. It really does.
They have such a kills mentality at this moment that it makes me feel really bad.
I mean, 80,
I want to see them
kills.
take objectives.
80 kills in this game between them. Or sorry, 70 kills, sorry, between them. Math is hard, especially basic edition. But that's just so much for this game. I mean, especially in a semi-coordinated 5v5. But they are grouped up. They're all preparing for what could be this final fight. Death timers are so long at this point in the game. But they may stall out. Baron is spawning here in about 45 seconds.
I mean, I don't see enough. Ooh.
Oh, that's not
Holy
good. That
crap.
is a huge chunk of damage onto the Gangplank. Somebody needs to get in front of the Warwick. Warwick flashes in, and Enfall is not able to pick up the kill just yet, but that is 2 kills already for the side of Precision, and this could be the game.
That's it.
It's
This has got to be it. Ziggs was nowhere near that fight. It ends up going in favor of Red Team. Veigar flashes over the Ziggs stuff and pretty much takes him out. He's useless for the time being.
Forced to flash already. He does live. They're going on to the open inhibitor as they continue to try to press for the win. Actually, they don't. They peel back. They're going for Baron.
They had no minions. They couldn't push for a win. Going to Baron is the right call. There will be super minions in the mid lane now, which will force blue team to devote a lot of their resources to clearing that out. You are right. Bot lane is pushing on their inhibitors. Maokai goes to take it out, but this Baron is probably
They need to
theirs.
secure it.
No.
Oh my God! Ziggs picks it up.
No, you're kidding me.
Holy.
Oh my god. Warwick had his smite. I want to cry.
No. No.
What is this team?
It's possible. I'm not gonna do the math, but it's possible that the center of Ziggs ult does more damage than Smite. I don't know exactly what happened there. We'd need a replay and to slow it down, but that is not okay. I was
Okay,
talking about
here
how
we
I
go.
didn't want the 90-minute game, but
Alright, so looking at Ziggs' ult right now, it says enemies in the primary blast zone take 600 plus 700 magic damage. So it's somewhere around 1,000 damage, I'd say, to Baron. Warwick smite is at 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
So pretty evenly matched, I'd say, unless I'm miscalculating Ziggs' ult damage to Baron.
yeah, I mean it's possible maybe with a comet Ziggs gets a little bit more, but either way, I mean miss smite or whatever you want to call it, 50-50. Nice steal by the Ziggs gives EVG another breath of life. They're being pushed in, but you can only imagine that this game may have been over if Precision would have been able to secure that Baron.
This must be such a feel bad moment for Red Team because they had it all up until that Baron steal. You have to, the important thing is to not let yourself get discouraged. This game is dragging on. You have an advantage. You can't finish it out, but don't start being silly. You can take it if you just play your team fight right.
And they really need to at some point soon. I mean, I do inevitably have to sleep at some point tonight.
No, that's a lie. You don't need to sleep.
So, I mean, this game is really dragging on. First game of the series, and for those
Are
of
they
you,
best of ones?
no, actually best of threes. So
Great, and we have another one of this.
We may potentially have another one of these afterwards. We'll see. We'll see if everyone's living at the end of this game. But if you're joining us in Twitch watching this game, we appreciate you sticking with us for 50 minutes so far. Team Precision and EVG Azul are just going at it. Baron buff will be running out relatively soon, and an Elder Drake could be in the cards in about 1 minute and 15 seconds. So we'll see. No team wants to make the big mistake here, but it doesn't really look like either of them wants to win.
I just took a look at the scoreboard. Maokai is 5-1-26.
Yeah, he is gigantic.
There are 70 kills in this game.
Yep.
He has died once.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Maokai is actually ridiculous. Being played very, very well, but that champion is ridiculous. Zach is going for the engage. He makes it onto Warwick. Felines is free hitting on the back side. The cage is there. Zach is already in block form. Cosmic Radiance a little bit too late. Kiba pushes forward as NF Fall tries to pick up the kill onto the Zac, and they already get it. Zaya's in trouble. Maokai's on top. That's a double kill for the Veigar, and this could be the game for Precision. They're just trying to clean up this Taric on the backside. Kog'Maw orb walking. Maokai picks up the Ziggs, and that is almost a full ace. They do it. 5-0.
There we go.
GG.
This has to be the win.
Thank you. And we praise the League of Legends gods as Precision does take down the Nexus here. 52 minutes into the game, 45 kills to 32. GG. Or something. Whew.
And this game is over. I still have so many questions. This game could have been a lot shorter if both teams just executed their plays properly.
Jeez. That's what I was afraid of. Whenever I see a Ziggs, I'm afraid of that.
Hop into advanced details so we can take a look at some damage charts because there's sure to be a horrifying. Oh, yes, they are. Go into graphs so you get the full visual effect.
Yeah, look at the Ziggs damage. Over
That's
90,000 damage to champions from
Oh
the
my
Ziggs,
lord.
doubling. I mean, Xayah and Gangplank combined doesn't even step up to the amount of damage Ziggs was putting out this game. So really tried his best to carry that game from the poking position, but sometimes the damage just isn't meaningful enough. They lose the final fight of the game, and that's all it takes to go 0 and or it's 0-1 now. We'll see what happens game 2.
Oh, good lord.
Yep. You got anything? We'll probably take a break, but you have anything for post game analysis on these guys before we
I mean, okay, so red team won, but I honestly don't have. It didn't feel like a very confident, dominant win. It didn't feel
No.
like they just smashed the enemy team. It was definitely extremely close up until the end, and they definitely just won. I think purely because of Igar.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Maokai, I mean, played really well too, but Vigor was able to get the damage onto the priority champion. Kama did his job in the backlines, continually putting out the DPS and staying safe, but the Vigor was the one really playing aggressively and making those plays. So good on him there. As I am going to take a quick break because that was an hour of gameplay. So we will be back for game 2 here in a little bit. Stay with us. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Game 2, Precision versus EVG Azul. I am Eki, and with me is Anna. And we just went through what was a grueling 50-something minutes solo queue style game. I'm hoping in these picks and bans we do not see similar team compositions.
Yeah, I really hope that they learn from their previous game. I want to see some big R bands. Yeah, Tarek ban definitely from last game. Um, I what I really want is for them to realize the team comp and execute it. I don't want any of this. We're gonna do well and then fail and then do well and then fail. I want them to either consistently do well or consistently fail. Okay.
Consistency is good. We do see Vigor will not be played. Same with Eteric. So there are these adaptations. Look, the Ziggs. Yes, the Ziggs is gone. But Azir is still on the table. Azir does a similar job. Oh,
nope.
Hey, nice. Jinxed it. So Azir is gone. But that's okay. So the main wave clear is gone. But Zac is picked. I don't think Zac was the issue. I don't think Zac was the issue.
It wasn't, but it's hard to execute. I had so many questions about some of those Zac engages. Like, if you, I mean, hopefully we see a better performance this time. But, you know, if you don't know if you should engage, the answer is you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Kog'Maw picked up with a Lulu. That's a really strong combo. Lulu puts the E on him and picks attacks with every one of his W auto attacks. And when he gets some attack speed, that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that is a very, very good bot lane and safe for him in the bottom there. So hopefully he can scale up. We'll see what XRSX picks up for himself in the jungle if he decides to go that route. Nope, just the Alistar. So two tanks again. Jungle. Oh yeah, you don't know about that full AP mid lane, Zac.
If anything, it'd be top lane, man. But that is a Varus hover, which I don't agree with personally. Not into a Kog'Maw. I'd rather go Jinx or Jhin. That works. Yeah, take the Jhin.
Yep.
Definitely can blow up a Kog'Maw with 3. Nope.
Oh, Twitch. Oh. Twitch is fine.
Twitch is totally fine.
Yep.
Can blow up that Kog'Maw before the Kog'Maw even knows he's there. So definitely a good pick, especially with the Alistar. Very strong, very aggressive bot lane.
And Sejuani locked into the jungle.
It was banned the first time, so we will see it this time, but...
She's strong. I mean, I get it. Bunch of damage coming out from a tank. Her clears are really good. Her ganks are really good. Just pretty much a very awesome, well-rounded jungler right now. So that's what we'll expect, but no mid laners picked up. So it looks like they're going to try to pinch the pool a little bit more as Orianna is taken off the table.
And this is exactly what happened first game with the this is exactly what got picked up last time too. It was the bot lane and the jungler, and in pretty much exactly this order actually, and that leaves, you know, mid and top to be pinched by these, and you can tell exactly what these teams are focusing on because you can see red team has banned both mid laners and blue team has banned pretty much 2 top laners unless the Rise goes mid, you know, so you can definitely see what both teams are focusing on or see as their strong suit. The Ornn was let through and it is picked up.
Yes, it is. We'll see how these nerfs will play out for the Ornn. People on Reddit were speculating that they were really, really strong nerfs. They took away the skill expression of the Unstoppable in the W, so he will no longer be able to negate the CCs just by breathing fire every couple of seconds. We'll see what that does. Maokai locked in again, so the triple tank combo coming out for Cerulean and Squad.
Oh god.
And Zed.
God.
Triple tank, Twitch, and Zed.
Please don't let this be solo queue again.
I'm thinking solo queue. This feels solo queue, but the one saving grace here is EVG does have a really strong composition again, and I think they have a much more reliable engage than they did last game. Last game,
definitely true.
They had to rely on Maokai flanking, and Maokai's engage is so long distance engage is so slow. And then the Olaf. The Olaf is
Oh,
here.
God.
So yes,
This is solo queue.
yes. As long as it's
No.
solo queue GG surrender at 20, I'm happy. If it's solo queue 75 minutes the dream, I don't know.
Oh, good lord. Okay, that is an Olaf mid against what I assume to be a Zed once they switch over.
Yeah. Kiba on the Zed, but I mean maybe Zed's banned a ton in solo queue. Oh.
What?
Maybe a misclick
Maybe
or
the
something.
Olaf was the wrong pick
Yeah,
here.
we'll
Because
see.
it was like a 0-second pick.
Yep. I don't know. We will see if we get any communication onto what happened there.
All I see is a sorry guys
Sorry
and then
guys
they're saying
and
same
same
picks.
picks. Okay.
I'm
Interesting.
do they not are they not punished for that?
You know, your guess is as good as mine. I guess not. It's a pretty new league, so I'm sure they're still establishing rules. They'll probably figure something out after this one. Like, hey, Vlad, not equal. Oh, they were going for Vladimir.
But O is nowhere near V.
I'm not good with the alphabet, but I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Nowhere near. Not even close. I don't know. I just hope that one day we'll load into the Rift. That's my hope.
We'll load in, but will we ever load out?
These are the philosophical questions that we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Well, no need to go over bans and picks because they have already been done.
Yep. Well, okay, yeah, I was gonna say no need to contemplate, guys. Let's just whip these out.
They're trying to remember.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Jarvan, Vayne, Viger, Ziggs, Azir, Tarek, Oriana, Gnar. There's a couple others. I don't remember what the last ones were. But hopefully they will. And hopefully we'll get through this.
Your emperor shall return.
Oh, good lord.
Yep. Here we go. Novosis trying to figure out what he locked in before. Ornn.
It actually wasn't Ornn, it was the
Yeah,
Cosmo.
I was gonna say it was Cog, but it really doesn't. As long as they.
Oh well, they don't have to. They don't have to first pick anything.
Exactly.
That's why. Okay. So they should be picking their own champs, but I guess their blue team's just going in order.
Yeah. Wait, is he actually gonna go for the Olaf?
No, please
Okay.
don't. Okay, thank you. Thank the Lord.
Faker played Olaf mid into.
Okay,
into
please
Zed.
don't tell me you think Sushi is Faker.
I don't. But maybe Sushi was like, pick me Olaf. I've seen Faker do it, and then the entire team vetoed him after it was locked in and was like, no way, you are not playing Olaf. You're not Faker. I think that's what happened because there's no way it was or it's not likely that it was a misclick of Olaf to Vladimir. I think Sushi had the confidence in the Olaf, and then the team was like, nope.
No, honestly, I think Sushi was arguing with them about what to take, and then they're like, wait, shit, it's 0 seconds, pick something quick.
And he clicked in the middle of his screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yep. You're probably right there. Unfortunately, we won't get to see that exhilarating matchup of Zed versus Olaf. Instead, we will get Vladimir in the mid lane. So it looks like Precision, once again, they are going to go with the 3-tank composition. And, I mean, Maokai played really, really well last game. The Zac, but did have some okay engages in the mid game. Twitch is a little bit better of a pick than the Xayah, I think, for the playstyle that she had. Alistar was fine, and then the big question mark is this mid lane Zed. I haven't seen Zed in a competitive 5v or a semi-competitive 5v5 in a really long time. So that's where my eyes are going to be this game.
I mean, yeah, the whole mid lane is going to be a really interesting matchup because Vlad can pull a lot of what Zed can throw at him. Zed can escape from Vladimir very easily, so it's all about, you know, the all-ins who can come out on top. This bot lane is also going to be really interesting to watch because Twitch and Alistar are such an aggressive combination. Kog'Maw and Lulu, pretty much the same thing. 2 hyper carries, 2 enabling supports. Is just going to be, I would say, a joy, but it's not. To watch this. A wet noodle fight up in top lane, and the 2 junglers just farm.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens. I think your analysis is correct. I think that's probably the way it's going to go. But what I'm hoping for deep in my heart is Zach, Sejuani, Vladimir, and Zed just slug it out over and over and over again in the mid lane, giving over like 10 kills to either side. And then that just snowballs absolutely ridiculously out of control for one of the teams. And then they just wipe through the rest with clean, decisive calls. That's what I'm hoping for. And the possibilities of that happening are weak, but a man can dream. Minute 20 seconds left for the spectator delay here. And if you guys weren't around for the first game fiesta of 50 minutes, precision.
More like 58 minutes.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. EVG, Precision was able to pick it up in the end. Is that correct? Yes, it is.
Yeah, red team took it. I don't know who was on red last time.
Yeah, it was Precision. The Maokai is what I'm looking at because Kibba was on the Viger in the mid lane.
Yes.
So Precision was able to get the victory in the first. They're up 1-0. We'll see what they can do in this game. They don't have Zed late game is not even remotely as scary as Viger in a 50-minute game. So they kind of do have a clock,
a time limit
to work with this game. So they can't just, they need to be more decisive. They need to make the right decisions quicker. Here in this game, they don't have that fallback plan of letting Viger stack up to 400 million AP.
On the other side, red team has exactly that fallback plan. They can just wait, and then Kog'Maw with the combination of Lulu is going to be just absolutely terrifying. Vladimir just gets tanky and unkillable and still deals tons of damage. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean that it's all, to be honest, it's all on blue team to make the plays and execute them, because red team just has to wait. They have to do nothing but wait. And so it's up to blue team to really take it. Taking a look at runes here. Nothing really shocking. Lulu and Vladimir both have unsealed spellbooks, so they will be changing their summoner spells. If they know what they're doing, they will be changing their summoner spells.
Did we see a lot of that last game? I thought,
no.
Wasn't it Viger who had unsealed spellbook?
Yes, I believe it was. And
we
I
didn't
don't
see him
remember
changing
them
very much.
using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
He pretty much just kept barrier the whole time, which I don't really blame him for, but don't take unsealed spellbook if you're just going to stick with one summoner spell. But anyway, we'll see if he puts it to more use this time.
We are here on the Rift. We will see. And I haven't seen an aggressive level 1 in Nightfall yet, so today could be the day where we get to see an invade. Doubtful. Not exactly the best level 1 squads. Maybe Precision could go for something cheeky, but I doubt it. probably going to see something standard. If you were the jungler, what position do you main, by the way?
I am a support main with top as my secondary.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, if you, as a jungler, where would you be putting your focus? But just, I mean, you're looking at this game. You know, these were your teams. Where would you expect to see a lot of the action going down in the
Bot
early
lane.
game? Bottom lane is
Bot
right.
lane.
Yep. Yeah, there's just so much aggression. Double ignites there. CC on both sides to help secure these ganks, and if
And
either
to be
one
honest,
gets ahead.
like, there's not, like, you can't really gank the other two lanes. Top lane is a wet noodle fight until Ornn gets some damage, if he even goes damage. So it's just going to be them pounding on each other for a while. Like, you don't even want to gank that. You don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Mid lane is just really hard to gank. It's a Zed. He can just shadow dash out of everything. And on the other side is a Vladimir. He can just pool out of everything. Like, it's just an impossible lane to gank. So the only lane you're left to gank is bottom lane, which you want to gank anyway because they're your hyper carries. You want them to get fed. So it's gonna be bot lane. We have 4 stopwatches this game.
Hey, what's going down? Perfect. Yeah, 3 for the side of EVG. And once again, standard bottom lane, duo lane starts for the junglers here. So we will see who can get an advantage in the early game. Karma returns. Did get more aggression early on last game. And with the Sejuani, might be able to gank quicker and more effectively than on the Warwick. But we'll see what Zach can do in reply. So we just see the bottom lane doing a little bit of that early trading. Alistair will be able to soak up a little bit. So, wow, Lulu already down to like half health from, what was that, like 2 auto attacks from Twitch?
Yeah, she is very squishy. As a support main, I can tell you, she's extremely squishy.
Yep.
What she really wants to do, I mean, she can't do much until she gets level 2. Level 2 is when her combo actually like happens, and it's terrifying. So I just want her to play back until level 2, and then because this happens otherwise.
Yes, and she is getting low. Does have 3 pots, so will be able to sustain back up just a little bit. But it does look like since the patch came out, we haven't seen any relics on the 80 carries. So at least
well,
maybe
I mean,
we're out of that.
Well, I did say that in the first game. You asked me what the new patch will bring. I said no more Relic Shield 80 carries.
Yep.
That is because Relic Shield no longer gives a shield, but Zach goes in mid lane.
Yep.
Electric Hammer goes to bot lane.
Yeah,
Vladimir
Ignite should
goes-
be enough. He uses Flash
Yep.
and he takes it away. So first blood goes to the Zed, and great aggression in the mid lane. Sejuani just a little bit too late. And that was coordinated aggression from the side of Precision as the bottom lane goes down and puts some nice one in as Zed picks up first
Definitely.
blood.
Definitely. That was well planned, well executed. Thank God.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Vlad TP's back to lane, so he won't miss much CS. But he is definitely going to regret giving that kill to Zed later on.
Zed's so tough to
and-
deal with a lead. I mean,
Yeah.
any assassin, obviously, but Zed especially being one of the assassins that has a much better win rate and has for a while. Hasn't really been touched because he hasn't been seen in competitive play, and he's always banned in solo queue where in the elo I'm at. So it's weird to see him, but we do see an engage in the bottom lane for the Alistair. Zach comes in
Oh,
too, lands
God.
onto the Lulu. They both blow their spells, and Zach comes in. He has his passive. He's not even scared. Twitch aggresses forward. That's another kill here for Precision.
Oh, good lord. A very well planned gank by Zach comes over the thick part of the wall from Riverbush. Lulu goes down because she is just too squishy to be doing anything.
Yep.
And Kog'Maw almost goes down himself, but manages to get just enough return damage on the Twitch that they don't push forward anymore. So Johnny, late to the party as usual.
Yeah, and Kog'Maw really has to be careful here. Nice engage from Cerulean, and Kog'Maw knows he is done. Tries to put as much damage down onto Felines as possible. Does get the passive damage off, but Twitch is going to be a-okay pushing this in, going back and spending some of that money. That's almost a 2K gold lead 5 minutes into the game.
And that's gotta feel bad for the Kog'Maw because as any AD carry knows, being set back on Kog'Maw early is the worst feeling. You do nothing until like 20 minutes in. It feels horrible. And this is just a personal pet peeve of mine. Unless that recurve bow is building into hurricanes, which it probably isn't, I hate Rage Blade starts.
Yeah, it's so slow.
I absolutely hate it.
Yep.
You get almost nothing for your return until like 10 minutes later. It's painful.
It really is.
Or it takes a lot of damage from minions because minions hurt, guys.
They do when they're
Especially
stacked up. You know, a big wave of about 10 there was just wailing on him. And D's Games has level 6 available if he decides he wants to get aggressive. Probably won't though because of his mana. I want to talk about it because you said that Kog'Maw feels terrible to play from behind. You don't like the recurve bow start. I mean, that makes him feel even worse. And to add on top of that, this Zed got first blood. Like, Zed's
Lord.
obviously going to be gunning for you, and the Twitch assassinations as well. So you have a Kog'Maw that's behind, a Maokai getting ganked up in the top lane. So we'll talk about it here in a second. Let's see if D's Games can get out. Knocks back, but the flash comes back in, hits the skill shot, stunned up, and Maokai does go down in the top lane. Just stayed a little bit too long there. But Zach is returning. He's in a 2v1. He does have his passive available. Trying to get a kill on to Novosis, but does not yet. And they're going to be able to just walk out of there. I'm talking about these assassinations onto the Kog'Maw. Tell me a little bit.
Noodle fight.
Yeah, that was yeah, like a pool party up in the top lane. Just everyone, no damage.
Oh, good lord. What were you asking me to tell you about?
Okay, you're a support. You're Lulu.
Yes,
And your Kog'Maw just built recurve bow. You see a Twitch at 2-0, a Zed at 1-0. What are you thinking in the bottom lane right now? Trying to get your Kog'Maw like into the mid and late game. Like, what can you do?
First of all, cry a little. Second
Yes.
of all, you max your E. You max your E and then you max your W second. Screw Q. It's not going to help you in this case whatsoever. You also need to play super far back. Normally you want to be poking, but you really can't afford it in this case.
Yep, the assassination.
Simply for that.
Here they are. They've shown up, and Zed. Oh my gosh, that was so much damage. He flashes, he gets the auto attack, and well played from Kiba.
Oh my lord.
2-0 and 1. This is the snowball that I was hoping to see, and I mean, for once, I got my wish, I guess.
I guess it's Christmas.
It is. It's Christmas Maokai up in the top lane, even though he is the one who needs a little bit better presence of mind, because he might go down again to the Ornn, but it looks like no more chase comes through. Maokai just kind of getting bullied out. I guess Ornn didn't get nerfed that hard. Ooh.
No, he certainly didn't. Nice pull from the Vlad, preventing the Alistar from going in, but I'm liking the rotations on blue team. They got the dragon. It's an infernal, which is definitely going to help them.
Yep.
Then immediately go to the mid lane, try and get a gank on the Vlad. Didn't work. They put a ward and recalled. Like, I'm liking this a lot.
They just feel so much more in control this game. I mean, they came out, they got the quick, decisive gank onto the Vladimir. We got the aggression in the bottom lane onto the Kog'Maw, and then the nice, decisive rotation down from the Zac to get the summoner spell list Kog'Maw right after they blew it there about a minute before with their aggression. So it just feels like they're actually communicating, they're actually coordinating so much better this game.
And to be honest, I can't help but think that the
Call the Forge
Ornn.
God comes through. He wants it, but does he? He has to flash away from the final present there, and that's just two tanks doing tanky things up there.
two very low tanks doing tanky things.
Yep.
Oh.
Too low. Too low.
Oh God. Anyway.
Yep.
As I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, I think the reason the first game went on so long is that it is the first time these two teams have played against each other. They have seen the other team play, and to be honest, I think that the blue team now, what are they? Precision?
Yes.
Precision was expecting the other team is Azul, right?
Yeah, I've been calling
Okay.
them EVG, but you can, yeah, Azul or EVG Azul.
All right. So Precision was expecting EDG to be a lot more aggressive than they were. And so they were like, oh, we have to play the late game because they're going to be super aggressive, and like we don't know if we can handle that because we don't know this team, we haven't seen them, we haven't seen this team, and you know, this is our first match.
Yep.
And because of that, it took them a really long time to close out the game because all of a sudden they were like, well, we have a lead, but we drafted late game, and we were kind of like trying to play safe and stuff like that, you know, etc., etc. But now that they have a sense of the other team's playstyle, they're just like, you know what? Let's take some comfort picks, because that Zed has to be a comfort pick. You know, let's take some comfort picks. Let's take some strong laners because we know that we can take them.
This fight in the top lane has been going on so long, but you're right. I mean, they fall back onto the Zed. On this Twitch is a much more aggressive playstyle as well, and they drafted to get some things going early, and they have executed on that. I mean, you mentioned how much you wanted to see them actually execute their game plan, and we're finally seeing it come to fruition, and that's what's netted them this 1.7k gold lead, as well as the first Infernal Drake. And you would assume that with the pressure that they've had in the top lane, they'll be okay. We do see a gank into the bottom lane. Kog'Maw blobbed up and taken back into the team. Winter uses a stopwatch, so he may be okay for now. Call of the Forge God coming through, and it lands onto one. Zach goes into blob form, but in the backside, assassinating his Twitch, and look, Zed has shown up to the fight as well. Kog'Maw picks up the first kill, but they are oh so low, and Zed has so much damage. He uses the ultimate to pick up one. He's got a double kill. They return that back. They may be able to continue to press as this is a 5v5 in the bottom lane, and they are looking for the dive. Not anymore, but they pick up another one, and is now turned into a 4v2. But it was just a huge 5v5 team fight in the bottom lane at 12 minutes. Reminds me of the double teleport meta that was like last year in spring, where it was all gangbang bottom all the time.
I remember that meta. I hated that meta.
I was gonna say, as a support, that's probably like PTSD for you.
Yeah, especially since I played AP casters, it was not fun.
Yep, that's tough.
It was not fun to be like a Sona in that situation.
Oh no way. Yep, not fun. But that is a huge swing of gold over in favor of Precision. Now up about 4k with the first turret underneath their belt. And it's 13 minutes in the game. The snowball is most definitely rolling onto both the assassins if you count Twitch as one. 3-0 and 4. Yeah, he definitely is. Alistair here. Vladimir has pool. Good timing as Sushi is able to get out for a second.
Oh.
There's a Zac from over the wall. He is tanking, and he doesn't have his passive. Needs to be real careful.
Oh.
But they are tanky enough to tank for so long.
That just feels really bad.
It really does. And these are the decisive calls that we need. Precision playing precisely, and they're going for that mid lane. They're picking up a kill, picking up the mid lane turret, and now they're going top.
I am judging you for that.
At least it's only been one. Just
okay,
one.
That's fair. I'll give it. Well, okay, it's not like you could have said it first game.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, okay. I did not have the opportunity. Oh my god, that hurts.
Oh lord.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
There's just
Not
nothing
much-
more you
not
can
much to
say.
say about
Yeah,
that.
that just hurts. Poor Lulu. I think that's why I don't like playing support, is when things go wrong, when the enemy team starts snowballing and you're playing something like the Lulu, you know, like the Nami, the Sona, you just are at the mercy of whoever wants to come in and focus you, if they want to focus you. And we saw that there as Lulu just got
that's
popped.
why you just stop being utility, because it's like you just go straight AP.
Yep,
Like-
1v1 them. You're a carry.
You will be by the end. Dude, I mean, Lichbane, Rylai's, Leandri's, Sona is is a terror to any AD carry.
Yeah, it's actually disgusting.
Oh,
I've
no.
played against that
No,
before.
not again.
Yep, Zeg uses the ult onto the Kog'Maw, but does not hit the shurikens until after
Oh.
the pop already, so doesn't get the extra execute damage. A little bit of a mechanical misplay from the Zed, but he does force both of those champions off the turret temporarily. They're getting collapsed upon. Maokai really does need to be careful. Sushi has shown up. Zed comes in and picks up Lulu once again. And nice ultimate, though. Glacial Prison hits from over the wall. Kiba is taken down eventually by the Vladimir, and they should be able to take out Maokai here, no problem. Double kill over with the Proto Belt to the Vladimir, and nice job from EVG just securing. Oh no! Oh, he gets it out.
He summoned it. Oh, okay. Thank God.
That. If Ornn had his ultimate available there and he didn't use that to block, I'm gonna be real skeptical. But at least Rift Herald has gone out. Alistar's going to die for the poor positioning of Zach using the Eye of the Void there. But I mean, that was just an interesting choice by him. And they pick up EVG picks up a few kills for themselves, so they get some gold back.
And this is exactly what happened last time. They lost focus. They were doing so well, and then Zed was just dicking around top lane, thinking he can 1v2, and ends up losing his life and dragging his Maokai down with him. And then Zac is like, "Oh, I'm so tanky, they won't touch me," and puts like Rift Herald in a horrible position on a ward.
Yeah, a pink ward, like.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see that it's there, and Ornn is like, "You're not tanky at all."
Yep.
And it's just like, come on, blue team, come on.
7-1-2 Zed. I mean, of course he is going to be having a little bit of fun as the assassin in the early game with a lead, but they do need to be careful because Vladimir scales so well, because Kog'Maw scales so well. They really do have to be careful. But I do like their aggression. I just wish it was a little more coordinated. For the first 12-13 minutes of the game, they were doing things well coordinated. They were moving around as a group. They were rotating properly. And like you said, it feels like they've kind of lost their touch. They don't know exactly what to do now that it's been past the 15-minute mark and they knock down these outer turrets. They're like, all right, what now?
What now? The answer is just do exactly what you were doing. Just now move your wards up. That's it.
Totally agreed. Well, hopefully we'll see that. We do see a 4-0-1 split push right now. Kiba going for those picks. You talked about it. Move your wards up, right? Get the pick, rotate, get some damage onto the turret. That's what needs to be done. As
feels bad to be the Zac.
Yeah, Zac missing way too wide.
It's not even that. It's like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go in. Alistair's okay. We're going in. I'm gonna knock them in exactly the opposite direction you were going into.
Team synergy, week 1 synergy. They got the pick. They're a little bit of damage on these turrets.
My team had been a team for one day, and we had better synergy than that.
I believe it. Nice Glacial Prison lands onto the Twitch. That was the target that they needed, but a little bit too little for the Sejuani.
Was just tanking turret that entire time with his ult on.
Yep. It was so good, and these games actually fancies a fight, but cannot continue it with the Ornn. He just walks away. But great job. They get the pick. They get the turret. Now they just got to get out and reset and rinse and repeat. That's all they got to do. So let's see if they actually get the Zac and the Alistar out and intelligently
just
back
off. Just back off. This is it. You have done your duty this time around. Just back off, regain your health, buy your items. Like, Baron's up in a minute. Just recall.
Yep. They have a Drake, they have 2 Drakes already, the Infernal and the Mountain, so you know they're good in combat, they're good taking down these objectives. Great little mix for the early game, and they're up 8k gold almost. So go back and spend, and then just flip the map and do it again. Put your Maokai now on the top side in the long lane. And then group up as 4 on the bottom side of the map and knock down this turret. If that's not your style, then group up as 5 and knock down this really, really low health turret in the mid lane. You guys have the Alistar to tank, like you said, with Unbreakable Will. And so they really don't have to worry that much about the defense. They're so far ahead. All they need to do is group up and make decisive calls.
They just need to take this slow and steady and close it out. Like, if they don't make mistakes, they're in the perfect position. Like, and the only mistake they could possibly make is getting too cocky, getting too arrogant, and not knowing their limits.
They're getting an engage onto the Sejuani. A nice slap in the head from the Zac, and a totally failed ultimate from Sejuani as Kiba tries to get the assassination on, but actually misses the shuriken, so can't do it. Re-engage from the Zac. He flashes in. Can't be disabled, but a nice Ornn ultimate goes through too, and Alistar wasn't tanking, so Zed goes down. They have to back up. And you said slow and steady, but I think they heard, I'm going to give over a bunch of kills in the mid lane.
Oh, God. Is that not exactly what I said not to do? I said, don't get cocky, don't get arrogant, know your limits. And they're like, limits? Well, what are limits?
Yep.
And just go straight into it, a tier 2 tower with a team full of CC. You can't do that to a Sejuani and an Ornn.
It's interesting. It really is. Zed even deciding that he wants to go in and take aggro first, even though the Alistar was there. So yeah, you never know.
Why is solo queue happening in this game? This is a tournament. You can't. No.
Yep. It's just. At least they're picking up Cloud Drake. They have the mystery goodie bag surprise of Drakes this game, so they're gonna have a little bit of everything. Baron is now an objective. They can start looking around, but with what they've been doing, trying to secure the turrets, I'm kind of afraid of what they might do at Baron.
I mean, the thing is, like, I have a feeling that EVG is kind of just scared right now to do the kind of Baron fight. They kind of did they did the tier 2 tower fight, not because they wanted to take that fight, but because they were desperately trying not to die.
Yeah.
Like, so when it comes down to it, I don't think they'll have the guts, really, to face check a Baron ploy. But at the same time, I'm not sure if Precision has the macro play to do a Baron ploy.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. They failed the dive, so EVGA might have more confidence now trying to step out further away from their base and defend, because they've seen these missteps from Precision over and over again. They saw him in game 1. They're seeing him again now. But Alistar has gotten the flank onto the Sejuani. Not exactly the priority target, but Felines does so much damage. But Sejuani just looking like a piece of paper that he rips through, folds up into a paper airplane, throws away, Call the Forge God. Comes across and knocks up 2, but that's a double kill for the Twitch as Twitch keeps going for the quadra kill, but does not quite get it there. They're very low. Maokai tanking it up, but Sushi doing his best job defending. Zac comes in. Everyone is very low. These games almost there. Nice save from the Alistar, knocking the Vladimir away from getting the secure, and Sushi should go down in the end to Kiba. So they mounted the defense. It was a really scattered fight, but Precision does take it. For now, he's got the stretching strike. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. So many low health bars, and this could be the cleanup. Felines is there, though, and he's ready. Sejuani gets the shutdown, but the Twitch is still here, and he's doing so much damage as Felines picks up the double kill onto the Lulu.
Why am I watching a solo queue game?
You pressed, it's back into the days where they had the high elo solo queue spectate mode. And that's except for the high elo part. But yeah. We got an inhibitor down at 24 minutes, so the macro game is stronger than it was last game, so that's at least encouraging.
I mean, the way they got it, though.
Yeah, it's something.
I really hope these teams improve from this, because this is honestly sad to me. Like, I may only be silver, but who's their shot caller? Who is the one calling these plays? And if they can't pick a one person and point to them and be like, this is the person who is calling the shots, then that's one problem. if they can point at someone who's calling the shots, I want to look that person in the eye and be like, you have a problem.
Well, it
So-
could be the, all right, guys, we're diving mid tower, and then the team's like, all right, party on, and then they all just go for it. You know, it's like
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's a problem either way. Either there's a miscommunication going on with what you guys want to do, and that's why you're so scattered and losing focus, in which case that's a problem. Or the person who's calling the shots doesn't have a good understanding of what's a good shot to call and what's
True.
not.
True.
In which case you have a different problem.
Yep. They are starting up the Baron. Baron is about a third health, down to a quarter, about 2,000 HP left. Sejuani is here and wanted to try to steal, but a great zone away by Cerulean, keeping the Sejuani off. They pick up the Baron. They should just be able to recall here. Maokai is pushing in the bottom lane, so I would expect to see a 4-0-1 with the Baron and the teleport available from the tree.
So many wards for red team near that Baron area, and yet they did nothing for the Sejuani because of that stalwart Alistair defense. Well
Yep.
done by that.
Yeah, honestly, phenomenal. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I would want my support player to be doing in my solo queue games if I had it, but unfortunately I would not.
Yeah, but see, this is the problem I have with Precision. They're just not consistent. They have these great macro plays, and then they have
And
like
then they
a
have
tower
this.
dive like this.
They have
What is
this. They do not need to be forcing it, but they are, and Twitch comes in, picks up the turret, picks up a kill onto the Lulu. Zed goes onto the back line and secures himself a Kog'Maw. That's a double kill as he slays Sejuani. Vladimir doing his best into the back line, uses the pool to escape. It's a double kill for Twitch. Could be a triple kill for Twitch here in a second. And it actually isn't. It's a double kill for Vladimir
Please.
as he outplays on the fountain.
Precision, please.
They're gonna end it. They got 3 lanes of buffed up. One of them super minions even. This is probably going to be the game here for Precision. I don't want to call it too soon because I've seen what they can do, but Zed picks up his 14th kill of the game. Couple more hits onto the Nexus. Precision does it. 2-0 victory
Oh,
over
God.
EVG Azul.
That was not okay. That was not a convincing victory. Even the second game, as smashing as it was, 11 towers to 0, was not a convincing victory. I am not impressed.
The 27 minutes was impressive for me. I like that. It makes me feel a lot better than double the gang length that we had in the first game. I think we just
Yeah.
had a little bit of PTSD. The game, although sloppy, they did finish it out relatively quickly, and this may be their first stream game. This is the very beginning of the season, so you're right. Maybe they haven't found the shot caller yet, or maybe they don't know exactly what macro strategy they want to execute yet. The important thing is that they actually did get the victory, a clean 2 sorry, not a clean 2-0, a 2-0 though. And they'll be
Yeah,
able
there
to
was-
review and move on and hopefully clean some of these things up.
Yeah, there was a lot of improvement from game 1 to game 2, so they definitely have a basis on which to really build and improve from. So they definitely have potential to really like clean up their play. I think that they just have like one issue, and that one issue is their shot calling.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
because
well,
like their
it-
individual
well,
play
we don't
is there.
unfortunately have like the mic checks. I wish we could. I wish we
Do
were
we
the
not have-
LCS. I wish we could. I wish we had the replays that dash on the analyst desk. I wish we had that stuff. We don't know exactly what's going on, but yeah, it was messy in the macro game for
Yeah.
sure.
Although if I had to pick an MVP, it would definitely be this 80 carry. Do we do interviews here?
No, not yet. We have not gotten that set up. I mean, at some point in the future, we definitely can. I'm used to having winning team bring in an interviewer, but
Yeah.
Nightfall not quite on that level yet. So maybe next week.
We have some interview room toilets here, so I think we should get those up sooner rather than later, because I definitely want to talk to them, figure out, you know, who their shot caller was and what their thought process was going through those games. But
yeah,
but
we
yeah, so
do.
the second game was just so much better than the first. A lot of improvement. Maybe they did have a lot of jitters that first game. Maybe they didn't really know this team. They didn't know how to play this team. They were scared about being on stream. I don't know what it was, but the second game they were a lot more relaxed, a lot more comfortable, and they showed us that they can close games quick, that they can do it even if it wasn't as clean as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah, I mean, victory. Sometimes at the end of the day, the W is all that counts on the scoreboard. They'll look back and they'll be like, "Hey, we managed to get the win, even if it was super sloppy." And I'm just happy they did it before I expired of old age.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the stream tonight.
Yep, definitely. Thank you guys for joining us on Twitch. If you have not followed, I encourage you to do that so you know when these games are being broadcasted. GG, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Good night.